Hello everybody, Alex here. Welcome to my finance and accounting education channel. Today we are going to talk about the metaverse. It's been recently since the rebranding of the Facebook company into Meta. It's been all over the place in the news. The idea would be to find out what, or at least a little bit to find out what this metaverse is or it's supposed to be, and if there are some opportunities to invest in it, so in this, let's say, developing business opportunity. But before we jump right in, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my channel, to hit the bell notification button. You will never miss an update on my site. I do them quite regularly. You should expect videos on my site Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, so that would be 3 times a week. Just a first disclaimer, some of the companies that I'm going to mention in this presentation I'm invested in, so I own shares. Probably I will try to say each time which one of the companies I have, so that you are aware that I have a personal interest in them. And the most important disclaimer is that this presentation is not financial advice of any sort. It's not a suggestion, an invitation for you to buy or sell any type of shares or other financial assets. Your decisions are yours and yours alone, and I do not take let's say, any responsibility for your decisions. That being said, let's jump right in. So we have the metaverse, or I call it, so I think it's very appropriate in this case, investing in illusions, because let's just say that this is supposed to be the metaverse. It's supposed to be another reality or a virtual reality. If you are looking for more immersive experiences, it could be an alternative reality. This is not something particularly new from my point of view, so it's not a direction in which we were started heading a few months ago when Facebook just announced that they are going to rebrand themselves to Meta platforms and that they are interested about the metaverse. But we were going in this direction from a long time ago. And if you are thinking about computer games, they are more and more realistic. Okay, the fact that we are trapped with our eyes in the mobile phones a lot of time in a day. You have the movies which are going even 3D and all the IMAX and all the experience, and sometimes Mortys with water and shaking you, and you know, all these very complex cinematic experiences. So you see this direction, we were already going in this direction of having something. Okay, it starts all with, let's say, with the books and with the imagination, but we are going into this direction of creating places, parallel situations in which we could potentially feel like they are real, yeah, because that's the idea. Many ask themselves if the metaverse is not supposed to work like something like the Matrix, if you know the success movies. That basically you will just have these large goggles on your face, and you will no longer know what's going on outside that universe which you are seeing through those goggles. And what we need to be aware, because I also spoke several times in the past, is that investing in metaverse is essentially investing in technology. I tried, and I'm always trying to find opportunities outside the technology. Let's say that the technology is the most attractive sector or theme into which you could invest, mainly because the technological progress, the innovations are coming from there, and the potential for growth is coming mainly from there. But we have spoken on this channel about other things like real estate, like mainly about financial services and so on and so forth. I'm always trying to look also in other sectors, not only in technology. What is interesting is that somehow, because it's, let's say, it's not a surprise, the crypto community is all over the metaverse. They are already selling dedicated coins. There is a discussion about NFTs, even virtual property. I've seen some guys selling virtual property against Ethereum and so on and so forth. So you see, for a classical investor which still wants to be invested in this or to take a part in this, maybe there are some gains to be made here. Of course, it's an opportunity. It will be quite difficult also to somehow try to navigate between the, let's say, the more safe, the more classical ways of investing your money in the metaverse and all this let's say exquisite modern way of dealing with cryptocurrencies and everything that's in this direction. So you should stay from this point of view if you want to invest in the metaverse with software and hardware companies that because this seems a bit more natural than buying virtual property. Of course, if you because I was always thinking who would spend so much money on virtual property. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. If you are thinking right now in the computer games, people are buying, I don't know what, superior sword with real money from real life just to win in the game. So it's called pay to win or something like that. So you see, these kind of people will also be willing probably to pay for, especially if they have more money, to pay for virtual property in metaverse. Then let's go a little bit through the suggestions. I have read several articles and on internet and seen some short clips and news and so on and so forth. And of course, we have the Jim Cramer from CNBC, the financial analyst, saying that Nvidia, Meta, or Facebook, Roblox, and Unity are the ones in which you should invest. If you go to money.usnews.com, they say Meta, they add Microsoft, Amazon, Autodesk on the list to the already Unity, Roblox, and Nvidia. One article from the Motley Fool, Fool.com, says Meta, Nvidia, Roblox. Another one from the same site says Unity, Netflix, and Tencent. So you see there are some lists that keep repeating themselves, but there are some others that are new. An article on Forbes, which is mostly going in the direction of cryptocurrencies and NFTs and things like this, is suggesting beside Meta the Disney company, which you probably know already. Kiplinger.com is saying, besides the already suggested ones, to add to your list Fastly, Shopify, and Matterport. We will see exactly what's with these ones. Maybe you didn't hear about all of them. I will try to give you a short explanation what are each and every company from this list doing. And basically any company which is investing in virtual reality, alternate reality technology, that would be an investment in the metaverse, let's say. What is a little bit scary, and I don't know, I'm not going to give any companies in this group, but somebody saying that it could be also any company doing psychedelic research or building biohacking or nootropics products that alter your brain chemistry is a metaverse company. So Dimitri Budorin, you are going already in this matrix direction of somehow let's say hacking, and I don't know, it might be also illegal, we will see. Yeah, because there are already psychotropic drugs and things like this, but let's say that we are not going to talk about this. Probably some people have interest. I've seen that there is another theme which was very popular. Now I see not that much from it. It was the cannabis theme. Yeah, so it seems to go in this direction. However, I'm giving you here the list of the ones I think it's okay to own. I have some of them, not all of them, and I'm explaining you why I think it's okay to own already. It's Facebook with the price to earnings ratio of 24.37. I'm invested in Facebook. Microsoft 37.99. I'm also invested in Microsoft. Amazon 69.86. I'm also invested in Amazon. And Netflix 59.42. Netflix I don't have, but it's not a very bad company to invest in. These are the big, from my point of view, why they're on this list, the big tech companies, super caps. So usually the companies are small caps, mid caps, and large caps, but these are the super caps. They have proven strategies in the market. They have delivered from already several years. So let's say that the oldest one from this list would be Microsoft. Amazon is also since the dot-com bubble around with us. Netflix, Facebook a little bit younger. It's a good idea to own them, especially if you know when to buy them. So if you invested in them a long time ago, or when the stock is dipping. So if you are buying the dip or the market dip, like in March 2020, when the pandemic started, and they were a very good buy. And they are also probably the safest bets in the list, since they got here by doing something completely different than metaverse. Let's say that the metaverse is like the cherry on the top of your cake, and of course it's a new business in which probably they will all expand and will add potential revenues and earnings and more value for the shareholders. Currently they seem mostly overpriced, except maybe Facebook, has the lowest price to earning ratio from this list, and most of them are either at the maximum of the latest 52 weeks prices or very close to this maximum. Then there is a list of companies about which I have mixed feelings. One of them is Nvidia. The reason why I'm not invested in Nvidia, I'm interested in the processors in semiconductors, and I'm heavily invested in semiconductors companies. Let's say Nvidia is not really a classical semiconductor company. For example, my computer has a video card which is from Nvidia, so as a product they are quite reliable and okay. The reason is that it has a price to earning ratio of 98.65, which seems already a little bit too expensive, so and a little bit of care should be exercised here. Then we have the Disney, which has even more, and it's 139.23 price to earnings ratio, even more expensive than Nvidia. Then we have Autodesk. Autodesk, okay, I knew about the AutoCAD software producer that's existing. The AutoCAD is used by engineers and architects and so on and so forth. I don't have fundamentally a problem with this company, only that from what I know they are in this let's say 2D 3D design software from a long time ago, and you cannot not wonder yourself how come they didn't find a way into metaverse already, because this is what they were producing, and let's say that the main product remains AutoCAD. And yeah, so from competitive point of view, let's say that I have my and also that the name is not very well known, and it can just remain even if some sort of madness with buying into metaverse starts, the name could be left outside because the people don't know about it, or it's not, let's say, that present like the other four that I mentioned on the first list. You see, it's a little bit difficult to explain exactly why I didn't put it on the first list, basically. Then Roblox and Unity Software, which are essentially game developers or software developers, they have no earnings, so yeah, it's difficult to see. You don't know how they are being managed operationally, and until you see some earnings, it's hard to say if their business model is really working and so on and so forth. Fastly is an infrastructure as a service company. It also has no earnings. The idea is that once we started using all this cloud computing and all these connections, the connections tend to be very slow, which is by no means no problem for somebody sending WhatsApp messages or things like this. But when we are talking about let's say autonomous driving or about brain surgery from distance and things like this, it can be very hard if there is a lag in transmission of data from the network. And here comes Fastly. Should have already guessed by the name fast. It means the aim is to improve the quantity and the speed with which the information is transmitted from one point to another. Then you have Matterport, which is basically offering real estate developers and companies that are selling real estate and so on and so forth the possibility of building virtual real estate tours. Yeah, of course, it's still a special purpose acquisition company, so a SPAC, and it also doesn't have any earnings. So you see, these are my let's say the points that are holding me back from going potentially full in if I were to go in this metaverse theme. And then we have the ones I will never consider, because if you remember the list from above, it was the one from China, Tencent. And it is because it's coming from China, so I don't have anything substantially against the company. What happens in China is that, for example, IPOs are getting scuttled, like the one from Ant Group. Then the company was basically nationalized. A significant part of Alibaba retained earnings, so the profits, which usually belong to the shareholders, were trapped in a forced donation towards some China development fund. Then there were the troubles with the education stocks a few months before that. The troubles with the licenses from the Macau casino, so the companies which are operating in Macau. And these are just a few and recent actions that happened, and that showed that the Communist Party from China, or the People's Party from China, will do whatever they want with the private investment, so basically with the money of the investors, like such as myself or yourself. And the question is, if you want that. I mean, just as I have several times said on this channel, if you want to do a donation, of course you can do it, you should do it if you want to do it, but it should be your decision, not some party from some state decide whether the retained earnings of the company you have invested go through, instead of going to you as dividends, for example, or to investments of that company, go to some donation. And another problem, which is mostly legal concern, is that you don't actually own these companies. There are some shell companies, mostly in Cayman Islands. This poses a lot of challenges, you know. Who do you sue? And if something goes wrong, and if you think that the Communist Party will be somehow held responsible, and by whom, in case you want to get your money back, let's say, for example, in things like this. That would be it for today about the metaverse. I hope you enjoyed it. We are not going into that much details about each and every of the companies. It was just let's say, brushing off a little bit this area of metaverse and seeing potentially which companies might be investing by themselves in this metaverse, and together with them we can also invest in the metaverse. We are not going to talk about, and we haven't talked about detailed financial results of these companies, and if they are good investments and so on and so forth. Once again, this is by no means financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and your decisions are yours and yours alone. My name is Alex Petrescu. Thank you for being with me on my channel. If you like the video, please hit the like button, comment if you have something to add, or share it with somebody that might be interested. But most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, to hit the bell notification button. You will never miss an update on my side. I do them quite regularly these days. On Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays you should expect new videos on my side. Also below this video you have links. You can create a eToro account and trade there without a commission or a fee, which is always a good thing, because no matter how often you are trading, you'll get a saving. Let's say that probably your bank through the internet banking application is not offering you this opportunity, or any other brokerages, but you have this opportunity on eToro. And also there is a wish list from Amazon with hardware and software items which can help me improve the quality of my videos, and it will be of course beneficial for you because you'll get better videos on my side. However, from financial point of view, that is the most inconvenient for you. The easiest way through which you can support me remains subscribing to my channel, hitting the bell notification button, and of course continuing to watch my videos. Thank you for your time and attention today, and I look forward to presenting to you with the next opportunity. Goodbye.